Good day, everyone. Ali's here from Safi Financial Network. Today is October 20th, 2023. Here is another weekly analysis, weekly edition for subscribers, YouTube subscribers. And this is kind of like the deeper one compared to the daily analysis. Let's get started with S&P 500 weekly chart. All right, so we had pretty ugly week. And anyway, if you want to slice it and dice it, this week was pretty bad. So lots of investors, traders, if you are on a bull side, if you're on a bear side, you should just have like a printing tons of money right now. But right now, the bullish people just are taking care of this trend line. And this is kind of like the trend line initiated last October. Here's the last October. Here's the March. And here is a broken trend line to the downside just a year after this October, in October 2023. So for those ones who are trend follower trader, seems like it's pretty sad week and sad day for them, just because trend is broken to the downside, and 2 weeks in a row we see these shadows on the top, just middle of this white range bar rejected down and push the price down to this level. So right now price is 42.22, and I should say there is one important decisive trench for bulls, and this is gonna be 41.74, just coming to this top of the demand area. So market next week can have a downtick, another downtick here to this one, and this one needs to be held by end of next week. So any weekly close below this, ideally below 41.13, could be a very, very bad news for lots of bulls in the market. S&P 500 can go down all the way to this area for the last pivot, which is going to be a 4,000 area. If it breaks below this, then we can get back all the way down to 32 to 3,400. So this is a bear case, but on the other side, the bull case, still we are not done yet. So because I said we, because I'm kind of like still not looking for that bearish momentum to the downside. Yes, recession is coming, and I'm gonna show you in another video. I have got another video for you this weekend, and make sure watch that one as well. I'm gonna cover bond yield, yield curve, and everything coming together in a very, very good comprehensive video. And I'm going to talk about the recession probabilities. But right now, in this video, I'm going to say this is very, very important breakout level to the upside. And this breakout is going to be the first time that we are testing this area. So I should say this breakout is engulfing this, and this pivotal point, these three pivotal points to the upside all the way to here, which is not a bad one. And if you go with Fib retracement, it goes to almost 38%, 50% Fibonacci retracement coming down to here. And based on the indicators in a weekly chart, I should say still we are in pretty oversold condition. MACD shows negative divergence here. RSI is pretty close to oversold condition in the weekly chart. And all in all, when I see this stuff, I should say we are pretty overstretched to the downside. I don't know, the next move is going to be just a bear market rally all the way up to here, and then coming down to break to a lower low, or this is going to be the final bottom. I should say I'm kind of like in a camp that this is going to be the final bottom, but we are not forecasting. We are not predicting the market. So this needs to be held above this pivotal point all the way to here to 4100 to 4174. Very, very important, needs to be held up here. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on to daily chart. So daily chart, as you see here, this is kind of like the capitulation phase. We had this before, folks. So I just want to review this here. So this is May 2022. We had a nice rebound, bullish consolidation, failed to the downside. 3 consecutive candles to the downside. Look at the capitulation. rebound to the upside, ended up to this higher high, goes back to this supply area, ended up to the October low. So pretty volatile price action. In a smaller scale, we see that this one is happening right now again. So I'm not going to be surprised if you see some kind of like a small lower low here getting into this demand area, which is very, very important for bulls. Today, we just broke below SMA 200 in a daily chart. Everyone is looking at this one. Even the previous time here, market reacted to this and everyone is getting back to the bull side. So we don't care about moving averages. We just care about supply demand and also price action. So when you see this moving average, there are tons of like a crossing above and below. Market doesn't pay attention. So this is going to be another one, another case that moving average using is garbage. So use them basically for your main tool for analysis. Yeah, you can use it as like a last tool of auxiliary tool for confirmation. But right now we are not actually, we don't care about this. We are not relying on this. We just rely on this. Bullish consolidation fails to the downside. I was wrong about this because I thought that we are having a rally, then coming down. This was not the case anymore. So we got back into the bear momentum. We can go a deeper down to here to 41.54 to 40, almost 4,200. So this 50 points or $50 could be a very, very important decisive moment. So we'll see how it goes on Monday, especially Tuesday. We should see some kind of like a reversal. Otherwise, it can ended up to a very, very bad price action. It can go all the way down to here to 4,000 area. Moving on to Nasdaq, which just leading the downside target today. Here's the Nasdaq weekly chart. Let me just zoom in here. So Nasdaq got below this 14,668. And look at the capitulation or look at the exhaustive candle. So whenever we see this exhaustive candle, especially when we have this bearish momentum to the downside, we should see some kind of like a whipsaw is coming next week. So again, this one can go all the way down here to 14,346. And I don't know after that, because if you just go to this, let me just bring the chart here. So if you go below this level, we have got a nice demand area. So still we are in this demand area and we didn't get a deeper corrective move to there. We just got touched by that demand area and reflexive rally. What do I mean by reflexive rally? It goes just sharply to the upside for 2-3 weeks. Right now, we are just getting back to this area. So Nasdaq is very, very fragile, I should say, pretty sensitive about the semiconductors, about the big techies, but those charts are holding up pretty well. So we will get to those individual names, but right now Nasdaq can go all the way down to here to just smaller, deeper corrective move to 14,000 again 200, 14,400. That could be kind of like a weekly area for another lower low, a possible scenario for a bounce to here. And we will see how it goes next week. Again, Monday, Tuesday could be kind of like a low, but I'm not sure again after Thursday, after Tuesday or Wednesday, we should see some kind of like a bottom formation. Here is another one for a daily chart. So obviously Nasdaq broken this trend to the downside. So let's delete this. And we are getting back down to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive red bars here. All of them are pretty strong movement to the downside, bearish momentum. So we can get to this area for a very, very important decisive moment. 14,195 to 14,462. That's going to be the daily demand area. As you see here, you've got the demand area here, initiate this rally, backtest, 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 here deeper first time. And right now, probably we will see another just a whipsaw to here. Then we can see reflexive rally or rally to here to 15,000 again. So that could be the scenario that I'm looking for, Nasdaq. So we'll see. But the bear case, if it stretches to the downside or capitulation phase, can go all the way down to here, which is going to be 13,500 to 13,900. So that would be kind of like the worst case scenario. And this is called capitulation. So still in a short-term period, we have seen capitulation 4 days in a row, just going down. This week, we just have one Monday positive, the rest is going to be negative. So this is not good at all for bulls, and they don't want to see that. Moving on to US 30, which was the same scenario. So US 30 is still working out in this bottom information. So last week we had bullish momentum, and I thought that this is going to be a confirmation after this hammer. But this week, no lower shadow, just sell, sell, sell going all the way down to here. So this is kind of like, again, another sign of the capitulation. So if you get a rebound, strong rebound next week, I should say that is kind of like this bottom information. But again, there's going to be another area here somewhere around 32,184 to 32,800. This is the level that I thought that it's going to be touched by market. It didn't. US 30 just touched top of this with this shadow here. A nice rejection to the upside. But this week seems like, is this going to be a shakeout or a washout low, or kind of like the continuation for this bearish momentum to the upside? Based on the indicators, you see that stochastic is pretty oversold. So right now we are just dealing with kind of like oversold condition. And even if this is kind of like the beginning of the bottoming phase, we should see some kind of like a rally next week or so. Again, this one is kind of like a leading indicator, US 30, because 3 weeks ago we got this low. For the other stocks we got last week or 3 weeks ago, the low. But US 30 is kind of like a better performance, having better performance compared to the other one. Look at, here is the new all-time high or all-time high, and we are just forming a corrective move here within this bullish momentum. So if we get below this, everything could be changed and it can go all the way down to here. But if, as long as we are above this, as long as we are above this pivot, we should see some kind of like a reflexive rally all the way to here. And then after that, we should take out this pivotal point, which is 36,000 to get back to bullish momentum and new all-time high. Moving on to individual, not individual name, daily chart. So daily chart, the same as the other ones. So 4 consecutive red bars, no lower shadow. This is kind of like an exhaustion candle in a weekly and in a daily chart. And we should see some kind of like a reflexive rally again. Bullish momentum is coming, or bulls are coming back. Depends on this pivot and this pivot. This is very, very important. Dead or fly. So this is going to be one of those critical moments for a market, for all indexes and for all the other names. When I see individual names, I should say they are mixed. So let's go to individual names, starting with yield, which was pretty interesting because yield is down. Yield is down for second consecutive day. And this should give market rally, but it didn't, because everyone is worried about recession. Again, make sure watch next video, which I'm covering recession, yield curve, and also inversion in the yield curve, and compare it to S&P 500 with different time frames. So make sure watch that one. But yield is coming down at the same time. Bond having like a sign of the life. Again, we don't know if this is kind of like a capitulation. This move. This is a capitulation because everyone is disappointing with bond. Everyone disappointed. So when you see there are lots of divergence here in monthly chart, weekly chart, daily chart, and yesterday price action was pretty sharp. And you see that there is no lower shadow. Today we just had a nice pushback to the upside. Even after hours, it just hold up pretty well. So there is nothing wrong with bond right now, but again, this is pretty oversold. Like, look at that. It's just going all the way down here. For multi-months, bond is not doing well. Since May, since April, May, just going all the way down to here. So I don't know. I don't know if this is the bottom or we should see a reflexive rally all the way up to here or even here, or this is going to be just another consolidation for the lower low. But based on the chart, based on the treasuries, based on the TLT chart, and also bond yield, I should say lots of reversal is setting up in different charts, which they have inverse correlation to each other. Gold, nice move to the upside today. I think gold is overstretched, overbought, and you should see some kind of like a pullback to this area. And that would be kind of like a next buying opportunity. I should say 1907 to 1933. Based on the daily chart, it should be kind of like a good buying opportunity, especially the sweet spot is going to be 1980. So 1918 could be kind of like a sweet spot for gold. So next week, if you see this one is coming down to this area, don't be surprised. Even there's support here, support here. So those tops, but the ideal scenario is going to be 1907 or 1907 to 1933. We will see how it goes with that one. Moving on to crude. Crude is coming down today. So this supply area around $88 to $90 hitting there. And as I said, this is pretty important level for crude. And this one can go down here. So we can see some kind of like a zigzag to the downside or even sharp move for 79 to 80. If it goes below this pivotal point, which is at 77, 78, crude can go all the way down to here, which I assume it's going to happen. Sooner or later, we should see some kind of like a capitulation in crude, which can give us good buying opportunity. But right now, crude is overstretched, overbought. Even this war cannot get back to a higher high, just going all the way up to here to the lower high. VIX, positive today, especially last hour of the trading session, it goes higher. But again, VIX is weak. So I should say we shouldn't see some kind of like a reaction like that in a bearish day in a stock market. We should see some kind of like very sharp move to here or here. So seems like stock market coming along with VIX, and VIX is showing us some kind of like a weakness in fear and panic. And we should see the end of the corrective move, at least for a short term for a stock market, because this one is not strong at all. Dixie coming down again today. So dollar is getting weaker. And I believe if dollar gets below this pivotal point, which is 105.05, can go all the way down to here to 104. Maybe we should see like a reaction to here to 105 again, and then coming back down all the way to 102. So be careful on this, because if dollar again take out this pivotal point, the ultimate target is going to be 102, which is going to be a substantial downside move for dollar, which is going to be a good news for gold, gold miners, and also stock market and technology. Moving on to magma indicator, this one is coming down sharply, still holding up pretty well above this pivotal point. As long as we are above this, we should not be worried about technology stocks too much. 1037 or 1037, that could be kind of like the bottom information. Again, one or two candles here, it's going to be a maximum stretch down to here, at least for bulls. If you're bearish, you should say that it's going to take out this, and we're going all the way down to here, which is going to be the next demand area. I don't think that's going to happen. Again, as long as we are above this pivotal point, we should be fine. Moving on to Apple. Apple is coming down sharply. This is totally different. So you see that here's the high, here's the lower high, lower high. But we don't get a lower low. So lower low could be here, somewhere around here, 162 to 166. or even lower here. So if it gets there, I'm not sure if it gets there, but if it gets there, that could be kind of like a buying opportunity. I would buy, but I'm not sure because we have got a good support here, 166 to 170. Today, price action seems like Apple shifting to the bear momentum aggressively, and it can go all the way down to here, 162 to 167 for the first target. Amazon, pretty sharp sell-off today, can go all the way down to here to 119 to 122. Meta is coming down as well, so still better than the other ones. Still, it's kind of like a low. Here's the higher low. Here's the another higher low. Possible scenario is going to be 300 for Meta is going to be just the bottom there. Microsoft, this one is holding up pretty well as well. I know this is kind of like a bearish consolidation, but compared to the other ones, this one hold up well. So as long as we are above this pivotal points, should be fine. Microsoft can go all the way down to 315 to 318, but I'm not sure below that. If it gets there and Apple goes down all the way to 150 to 160, I should say the market is in bottom formation. Google coming down $2 today, so pretty sharp sell-off today. As long as, again, this is going to be a very, very important pivotal point around 126, almost $10 higher right now, but 126 is going to be critical pivotal point. If it engulfs this area to the downside, can go all the way down to 112 to 115. Netflix, after yesterday's surge to the upside, still hold up pretty well here. If it consolidates here, it can go higher. Netflix still is going to be a market saver for now. Tesla is coming down sharply, $8. After yesterday price action gap down, Tesla just continuing to the downside, taking out this pivotal point. Tesla is heading down to 178, I should say, to 189. That's going to be the area that I'm looking for Tesla right now. So this is going to be the area that I'm looking for Tesla. Moving on to semiconductors. So SMH, $2.26 down. This one can take out this pivotal point, and I should say SMH could be great buying opportunity 128 to 133. So that is going to be, again, another capitulation. SOX, the same pattern, can go down all the way to 425 to 444. TSM, $1.60 down, $91.31. I don't know if it gets below this, but if it gets below this, it can go all the way down to here. AMD, pretty good chart compared to the other ones. Look at that. So it's holding up pretty well. I believe this one is forming pretty nice bullish confirmation here. So we are kind of like forming a reverse head and shoulder. If it holds up pretty well this area, which is 92, which is this demand area, and market reacting very well, if it turns back to the upside, I should say any close above 111, that could trigger price all the way up to 122. So we will see how it goes with AMD. On the other side, NVIDIA is showing the other pattern, which is head and shoulder, and we are pretty close to break it down. If it breaks below this neckline, I should say this one can go all the way down to here for the first target, which is going to be 334 to 344. Some people are saying probably we'll see a reflexive rally from here. Yeah, this should be fine. Like you can just, even if you want to buy this, I wouldn't buy this. I wouldn't touch it until getting to this area. But we should see some kind of like a price action movement here, 367 to 373. By the way, NVIDIA is very, very potential to get below $400. Texas Instrument, this one is just sharp moving down. This is the sign of the capitulation. So Texas Instrument is challenging these two pivotal points. If it has like such this momentum to the downside, it can go all the way down to here to 140 for the next level. Lam Research coming down sharply today. $1.60 confirming yesterday price action. It goes below this area. Lam Research can go all the way down here to 506 to 534. XLF, which is a Spider Financial, this one is coming down sharply as well. This one can go all the way down to 31 to 31.53. Seems like some charts are having more movement to the downside. Some charts are getting close to the decisive pivotal point. So that's what I'm saying. On Monday and Tuesday, we should see some kind of like a capitulation or end of the bear market. So at least a 2-3 months bear market. It's very, very important to see some kind of like a good reaction to those pivotal points on Tuesday, Wednesday. KBE coming down today, so just getting to the lower low, taking out this pivotal point. Still, I'm just looking for deeper move to this demand area. KRE, $1.63 down. This one as well. JP Morgan, $2.34 down. Goldman Sachs, 86 cents up today. So Goldman already taken out this pivotal point, getting into this white range bar here, double bottom here, sharp rally. So still working out or struggling for the bottoming formation. After hours, it goes higher a bit. So that's kind of like a surprising. Bank of America, this one is in a demand area. And I don't know if it's going to go deeper or probably just keeping out itself here around this double bottom formation. Wells Fargo, this one is coming down sharply today, probably take out this pivotal point, but there is going to be a strong demand area here. So we'll see how it goes with this name. GoldMiners, after nice rally recently, they just got back a bit, shooting a star on the top for gold for GDX, which is GoldMiners ETF. This one can go down as a pullback to here to this area, which is going to be at $28, $29. But after that, we should see how it's going to react to this broken trend line. GDXJ, a sharp sell-off today, shooting a star. This one can go down just below this trend line. It's not going to be, some people are saying this is the trend line, but doesn't matter to me. Like this one is not broken. Okay, just reacted to this. This means juniors are not doing well, or big big miners are leading the market right now. AEM coming down today, shooting a star on the top, the same as the other ones. And EM, this one is heading down already. It was not broken, this trend line, and already for 3 days consecutive downside. So it can go down to $36 to $38. That's going to be kind of like important level there. Franco-Nevada, 86 cents up. Doji bar, nothing good, nothing bad. The best one I should say is Gold Barrick. So look at the move. There is no question that this trend line has been broken. Right now, we are just looking for a pullback to 16 to 1605, and then we'll see how it goes. Moving on to XLE, which is energy spider. This one is coming down sharply. I should say this one can follow up crude, and crude is heading down. This one is heading down as well. XLE can go all the way down to $1.54. XOP, $2.57 to the downside. OIH, $7.27 down. Exxon, $1.94 downside. Chevron, $2.27 downside today. So stocks for energy are not doing good just because seems like there is going to be a peace news, or I don't know what kind of like a hopefully peaceful news is coming to the market, but we will see how it goes. Seems like geopolitical tensions, everyone just getting on the side that probably that's going to stay in Palestine, Israel area. It's not going to stretch to the other countries in that region. So we shouldn't see some kind of like a movement in the crude and oil industry, and the supply demand could be the same as before. So everyone just getting calm on that sector. So we don't know about the future. Hopefully, peaceful acts and movements are coming to all around the globe, and there is no need for war. But I know that this is going to be just a wishful hope. It's not going to be a reality, unfortunately. Okay, I think I covered everything. Have a fantastic weekend. See you on the chart. Make sure watch the next video. It's coming shortly. I'm going to cover in different angle, different charts, different perspective. Have a good one. Bye-bye.